Now, I wanted to collect my thoughts about how I really felt about the P. Diddy Cassie situation and give a better response to how I did when it first initially dropped. But before I could even do that, of course, we had to get an apology video from P. Diddy himself.
It's so difficult to reflect on darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I mean, I hit rock bottom.
And here he goes with the half-ass jokes talking about wrestling moves that he did to Cassie. What's going on, everybody? Look, we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the P. Diddy Cassie situation. And before we could even get into that, P. Diddy puts out his apology video. And let me say this, anytime anybody does an internet apology where they prop their phone up, it's always some PR stunt to save face.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
What's so funny about this is, if you remember recently when all the news came out, everything shook down, P. Diddy himself was saying that all these things that were being said about him were lies. This is something that he posted on his Instagram right after the Cassie situation kind of unveiled itself. Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, family, and for the truth. But here he is saying he was at his rock bottom. He was disgusted. He was saying all these things, but denying these things a couple weeks ago. And he knew these things existed. Hell, he even knew they existed at the time of it happening because we have proof that he paid the hotel $50,000 in order to keep these things suppressed.
If you've seen that horrific video, surveillance footage of Diddy punching, throwing things at Cassie and attacking her repeatedly, why had it not come out until now? According to Cassie, in the lawsuit that she filed last year against Diddy, she claims that Diddy paid the hotel to get that footage, gave them $50,000, and problem solved.
So I don't know why he's trying to do this whole save face stunt now, because we have the evidence here. And people on the internet tend to forget that quite often, is that we have the internet. It exists. It archives everything that you say. So even this acting job, this top tier acting job, it's the best acting job I've ever seen P. Diddy do. It's not gonna fly by a lot of people because they have your words.
When I sought out professional help, I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Oh God, here it is.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
I listened to that whole thing multiple times, and honestly, it sounds like a brand deal or some sort of cut for a BetterHelp advertisement. And it's interesting how here he turns to God in these darkest moments, because that's what a lot of these so-called Christians do when they get caught up in some sort of situations, is they try to rinse themselves with the veil of Christianity. But people are going to see through this for what it is, because Diddy is a total monster, and this type of apology or whatever you want to call it isn't going to suffice for a lot of people. It's quite clear to me why these videos and some of this information is surfacing and is about to surface even more, is because he's in something that's deeper doo-doo than just this assault video that's on Cassie in the hotel. Remember a couple months ago where Diddy had his whole compound raided? I personally believe that that's where those videos were. Trust me, that's why he was on the run and had to get stopped on the runway by the law in order to stop him from trying to escape and navigate to go to a different country. Even though in that apology video, he looks very similar to a Russell Simmons video where he's out of the country trying to avoid some sort of extradition. Now, the thing about this video is that the statute of limitations has passed. I think LA has a 3-year or 6-year statute of limitation. So there's no charges that are going to be pressed going into this video. This is only put out so that the society or the ethos or the atmosphere that is black culture can make determinations as to how they feel about P. Diddy. And a lot of people feel as if what P. Diddy was totally wrong, because it was totally wrong. I don't even have to mansplain it. Let me bring somebody in and let them give their expert witness account of what's going on. This is my girlfriend, who is clearly a woman, and she's going to tell you exactly how she feels about P. Diddy putting his hands on Cassie and the apology.
Terrible. Terrible. Let me just, god-awful apology. You're not going to jail. You're going to prison.
Thank you, expert witness. And of course, she's not the only one who thinks that the apology was half-assed. Even people close to Cassie have come out and spoke about why this P. Diddy apology video was pointless.
Cut it out, Puff. So you were disgusted back then, you're disgusted now. Was that the last time that you did that to her? If you're so disgusted and you went and you got all this help and you feel whatever, and if that's the case, why did you say enough is enough and say that she was lying? That incident was in her lawsuit.
Verbatim.
I remember that incident because I was around. I remember her telling me about how you spent $50,000 to get rid of that video. Watching that video the other day was crazy because I thought no one was ever gonna see it because of you. Cry me a river, bro. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. And I'm glad you don't want forgiveness because ain't nobody giving it to you over here. You know what you did. You're fine fine with your behavior. That person on that video is part of you.
She does bring up a good point, because in the whole lawsuit, Cassie details events that happened after that. So if you were supposedly sorry back then, what about the things that happened post that? Now, a lot of people aren't necessarily on the popular side. They actually believe that there should be some grace or minding of business when it comes to P. Diddy. Because when you look at what Floyd Mayweather had to say about it.
I'm not going to speak bad about P. Diddy because he's still a black man. Mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake, but things happen in life. P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. I don't think it's right at all. Even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt, but that's a choice that my daughter made.
It's disappointing to hear people like Floyd Mayweather say some stuff like that, but then you got to remember who Floyd Mayweather is. He's a boxer that can't read. And yeah, I do think that that plays a lot into the conversation. He is somebody who's punched women in the face and served jail time for these things. All guilty, by the way. But it's sad that he doesn't even stick up for women, especially when his own daughter got into an altercation with NBA YoungBoy. It's sad to see some stuff like this from somebody who has a major platform. And then you have the Bible thumpers like Kelly Price all up in the comment section defending him using the angle of Christianity, which I'm honestly very much tired of. She comes to the comment section and says, "It is my sincere prayer that the power of the Holy Ghost overtake you so that you not only have a change of heart, but a change of mind." This is a woman who is giving a lot of grace to him under the veil of Christianity. And literally, she doesn't say much of anything here, but she gets attacked for it on the internet pretty heavily. And I'm glad people got her ass up out of here and made her apologize. Ultimately, I align with Cassie's lawyers and a great bit of the internet sentiment when it comes to the way that P. Diddy did this apology video. Cassie's lawyer says, Combs' most recent statement is more about himself than many people he has hurt. When Cassie and multiple other women came forward, he denied everything and suggested that his victims were looking for a payday. That he was only compelled to apologize once his repeated denials were proven false shows his pathetic desperation, and no one will be swayed by his disingenuous words. When you sit there and tell a lie and try to spin narratives all day long, it's only going to come to bite you in the ass, especially because a lot of this evidence really exists. And again, with the raids coming out, I'm knowing that more stuff will come out. I don't think P. Diddy's team knows, because they're still trying to take this and make this into some sort of justifiable thing. But let's be clear, the end of P. Diddy is near, and I'm hoping whoever is surrounding him or is around him, caping for him and giving him such soft place to land, also fall with him, because at the end of the day, they're sympathizers of abusers, and we don't need those people around. But hey, let me know what you guys think.